Hi, on this video we're going to go over the tractor a little bit more. So, I'm getting it back together. Did a bunch of polishing and waxing on it to try and preserve the metal as best I could, so that's why it's got a little bit of a shine on it in different places. Doing some experimentation, and I kind of burned through the paint on the tunnel cover over here and back here when I was experimenting, but you live and learn. Not much information out there on cleaning rusty metal. So what I had used was some Mother's polish, and that seemed to work best, and it didn't seem to go through the paint as for getting all the dirt and grime and knocking off the high spots. So that's a little tip for you. Haven't gone and waxed the grill yet because that was only just stuck on a little bit ago. But the side panels and the frame are all done. I didn't do the underneath of the frame because you can't really see that and it's a mess under there. Anyway, getting it all together, coming along little by little. The plate that goes up in the top was originally off of 23D and it won't fit this engine. I have to find one from like a 12 horse sometime or another, so I don't want to remount the holes because then it won't sit on top of the head correctly. So if I find one, I'll put it on. I'll have to go without it for now. So I've been looking down under here as for running all the wiring, and the factory harness says the battery wire, and I believe Zipro Varga also mentioned that the battery wire runs on this side of the frame, which makes sense because that is on the side of the regulator. So that's all straightened out. Throttle cables run correctly, and both of these 64 Simplicities I had gotten didn't have a fuse running from the battery to the amp meter. The later tractors did have a fuse. This one and the brother to this one did not, so I left that one alone. So that's all straightened out, and if you look down in here where the cables run, you can see how the cable's right up against the bottom of the amp meter. That's why they put that little rubber insulator under there for that. So I got up under here and I wasn't 100% sure on how everything is supposed to be run. So one thing I had noticed is there was a hole here as well as a hole down here. So obviously the choke cable comes through here. The last owner put the cable over here, and what happened is when you tighten down the bolt for this panel, which I got right here, when you tighten down the bolt for that panel, it would pinch on the cable here. So you have to run the cable back over here to clear the side panel. And then there's a cutout on the bottom here that sits right here for the cable to come back out. So that was pretty easy to route. And I stuck that underneath the cable here so this can go back and forth and it doesn't catch the cable. I'm gonna put some grease in here so it doesn't rub. I mean, it's not tight, but I'm still gonna put some grease in there. I also want to grease up these gears in here for the steering. And here's the engine kill wire, which I didn't hook up yet, but that reaches just fine, and that's coming from up here and going down through the hole down that direction. So that's all routed and straightened out. Now the next thing was the fuel line. The nipple has to line up with this hole, so it's going to come at a little bit of an angle facing out this direction. And it's going to be right behind this panel. So I'm going to see if I can't keep the fuel line behind this panel. But I have to figure that when I start getting it all back together. But yeah, I was quite surprised that there was actually a spot for that wire here. That went through there, and I was also happy to find that hole where that cable comes through. And happy to see in the parts breakdown that that's actually the original bracket that holds the cable here. So that's all straightened out. So getting there, got a brand new carburetor on here. I wanted to use the original bracket in the cable, but the 23D has a different bracket for the choke cable as well. So I just had to use what was here, but not a big deal. I haven't cleaned the chrome up on that yet, and I got some new chrome there, but I'm gonna leave that at that. So little by little getting there. I'm gonna steal the two generator wires off my 2012 since they're original yet. The wires that were on here had new ends put on it. This is the boot that went on the starter generator. As you can see, someone had cut it, and it was a little bit deformed, and there's dry rot cracks in it. More specifically here. But I'm still going to put it on there because it's original. Once you put it on the tractor, you really can't tell if it's been tampered with. But I did have a plan B if that didn't work. I'm going to go grab those. Give me a second. These were going to be my plan B. Granted, they're not original, but better than nothing. So, getting there little by little. I haven't cleaned up the hood yet either. And here's where that paper hangs down right here. That goes to the bottom of the battery box here. And the holes line up with the two terminals right there. So, little by little I'm getting there. I know, I said that a few times now. It's starting to look pretty good. I also found out this is the original dealer tag to this tractor. Sorry. That is the actual original dealer tag on the tractor. And I have a seat cover for this, but I'm not going to put that on just yet. I got to put the tank in yet, but I want to get a picture of how everything was going in, how it's coming along. Looking pretty good. Wish I had the right piece for that, but not the end of the world. I don't have the grill tightened down yet because I need to put the hood on and line that up correctly. This has all been cleaned, but I didn't wax it yet. I gotta wax the front axle too. Just to kind of preserve the metal as best I can. But that looks a heck of a lot better than most other tractors of its age. But it looks better on the phone, but once you get close, it gets a little uglier. But not too bad. So, bit of an update on the tractor. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And as always, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.